Hello, I'm Jessica, and when I was going into college after graduating from high school, I had no clue what I was getting into. And what does someone do when they usually have no clue what they're doing? They Google. And that's exactly what I did. I Googled a bunch of articles about what to expect in college. I even looked up some YouTube videos on people talking about their experience in college. And the other day, I just remembered randomly that I had done that, and I was thinking about it, and I realized that the advice that a lot of those videos and articles just did not mirror my college experience at all. So I decided to kind of throw my hat into the ring and talk about my college experience and give advice on people that are kind of more of the non-traditional college student. So let's get into it. So before I start giving advice, I want to give some background information on both myself and my college career. So the first little bit of information is I graduated from college in December of 2018, which means I am a college graduate, and I have been for 2 months now, which I honestly don't know how to feel about that. The second piece of information that I would like to give is the fact that I was a commuter student all throughout college. And essentially what a commuter student is a student that does not live on campus, and they commute or drive to campus to go to their classes or anything else that they would like to go to. So I was a commuter student, and usually commuter students they do live off campus, and they either live in an apartment, off campus housing, or they can live with their parents. And the last option is what I did. I did live with my parents. And before you guys click off, I have many reasons as to why I live with my parents. First of all, number one, the one that makes the most sense, it saves money. Number two, I actually went to college in the city and state that I graduated high school. So I already knew the area. I already knew my parents. I've known them for my entire life. Hi, this is me editing, and I just want to say shout out to my parents. You guys are awesome. And I also knew the house that I was living in, so obviously it just made sense to stay, because if I already had a living situation, it wouldn't make sense to get another living situation just to be like,
I'm off campus, but I'm not with my parents. I'm in a house of my own.
I mean, some people don't have the luxury of staying with their parents, and I completely understand the reason why. You may have problems with your parents, or maybe you went 50,000 miles away for school. Who knows? So not everyone has that luxury, but I don't want students to feel like they have to be have to have an apartment to be independent, because you can be independent and live with your parents. You just do have somebody there at all times, and that person may help you and give you food and maybe do your laundry. Who knows what they do, but it doesn't make you any less of an adult, essentially. The other thing that I wanted to mention is another non-traditional aspect of my college career and myself, is that I graduated in 3.5 years. Usually students graduate in 4 years, but I graduated in 3.5 years by loading my schedule almost every semester and also taking summer classes. Summer classes are essential. If you want to get out early, take summer classes. Also, you get some difficult classes out of the way in like 2 months, and it's wonderful. So that's all the background information that I'm going to give, and now I'm going to get into the advice. So my first piece of advice is do not compare yourself to your peers. It is so tempting, and it's part of human nature to compare yourself to the people around you. And I did that a lot when I was a freshman in college. I essentially would see people that had millions of friends on the first day of classes, and they were super involved and super social, and I was very sad about it, because I didn't have 50 friends on the first day of classes. I wasn't super social. In fact, I am a very shy person. I'm introverted, and so I wasn't very comfortable walking in on the first day and just being like, hey, how are you? I'm Jessica. Hey, how are you? You're doing great. Like, that's just not who I am. I will be nice to you, but it's very uncomfortable for me to walk into a place and just immediately be like, hey, how are you? You doing great. You're wonderful. Da da da. That's just not me. I ended up, once I got comfortable, I ended up making friends, and I actually made friends in a little bit more of a non-traditional way. Yes, I made friends from clubs, but most of my friends came from on-campus jobs, or the on-campus job that I had. So I did gain friendships in a different way than others, but that's another side tangent. On-campus employment is wonderful, so highly recommend. I would definitely try not to compare yourself, because towards the end I was like, why was I even comparing myself to those other people in the first place? But it is very innate, or it's a very innate human quality to want to compare yourself to somebody. So that's my first piece of advice. Do not compare yourself. The saying is correct. Comparison is the thief of joy. So try not to do it. I know it's inevitable in some cases, but just try not to do it. It will save you a lot of heartache. My second piece of advice, and this is crucial, read your catalog. Have your catalog on you. Just memorize that thing. Not memorize, but it would be very, very smart for you to keep it on hand. Take it to the meetings with your advisor. Just keep it. Do not throw that thing away. In fact, I have been graduated for 2 months now, and my catalog is literally back there on that bookshelf. Catalogs are very, very important, because while advisors are wonderful, you may have a bad advisor. So you will need a catalog to tell you what you need to take and how many credits you need to graduate, things of that nature. It is a wonderful, wonderful tool. So highly recommend read your catalog, because a professor or an advisor may tell you, oh, you need to take 2 maths, and you look and you only have to take 1 math. So it's very beneficial. So read your catalog. Oh, so beneficial. My third piece of advice is set a schedule. This will be very, very, very beneficial for you, especially when you get into your junior and senior year. When I was a freshman and sophomore, I didn't really have a schedule until I got into my on-campus job, and that really put me into a schedule, and I'm very thankful for it. But there would be a lot of times where I would just wake up randomly and be like, okay, I'm going to class, and then I would come home and I would just sleep, and then wake up at like I don't know, 10 p.m. and stay up until like 3 a.m. and it just never kept me on a consistent schedule. So I was losing sleep. I didn't have because you're losing sleep, you don't have a lot of brain power, and it just wasn't really working, especially since I was trying to get into a routine, since it was my first year and a half at school or at college. So I would definitely recommend setting a schedule. Make your sleep schedule relatively consistent. I know that's difficult for some college students. For me, it's relatively easy because, like I said, introverted, I need my sleep, I need my alone time, so it worked very well for me. But I would definitely recommend setting a schedule. Set time to do homework. Set time to have a break. You don't have to schedule everything out, but have a very, very loose schedule, because that will help you immensely. Fourth piece of advice, and this is advice for literally everyone, but especially college students, and I know this is in every single video, so this is not a special piece of advice, but it is a very, very, very important piece of advice. Do not procrastinate. I know you want to do it, especially you're watching an episode of Stranger Things or an episode of The Office, and that's all you want to do, and you don't want to think about that criticism paper that you have to do. But guess what? It's gonna have to get done, so why not get it done and get it out of your mind? I was such a procrastinator when it came to papers specifically, and it wasn't because I didn't want to do it, because I actually really, really enjoy writing. But the thing that really, really kept me procrastinating was I was nervous that I was going to do something wrong on the paper or get something wrong on the paper, even though and maybe I'll make a video about it one day, who knows. But I went into intense depths when it came to research. I would write notes and notes and notes of research, but I would still be nervous, and I think it's just because you're putting your words down on a piece of paper that you're then going to hand to a professor. But If you prepare, you shouldn't be nervous, but that's just me. I get nervous about random things sometimes. It's fine, I'm fine. So yeah, procrastination does not help you at all. It may feel good in the moment. You are riding high on the fact that you have not done your math homework yet, but you got 10 more episodes of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. But it's gonna be bad. I'm just saying it right now. Yeah, do not procrastinate. It is the worst. I honestly don't know what causes us to procrastinate other than the fact that we feel like we're controlling our situation, but it does not work. So try to get the stuff done early so then you can have the time of your life. And the next piece of advice is especially important to college students that get burnt out easily, or even college students that have breakdowns in the middle of, say, a semester or a project. And that is know when to take a break. I know you want to get all of this stuff done and be done with everything, but sometimes that can come with a price. You can make yourself sick from stressing out over a test or a paper. You can end up not getting enough sleep, and then your brain suffers the next day because you didn't get enough sleep, and then you're taking a test, and if you had sleep you would have made an A, but since you didn't, you may have made a C. So know when to take a break. If you are getting really stressed out about something, just take a step back, maybe take a walk, do something. I usually used to watch Vine compilations because I love Vine, but just try to take a break. You can even walk around the block. You can pet a cat. You can do whatever you want to do as long as it doesn't harm anyone else, or harm yourself, I should say. And the last piece of advice is important for people who have just graduated from college, but I also believe that freshmen going into college should also hear this piece of advice. And the piece of advice pertains to life after college. Essentially what I'm trying to say is life after college does not happen quickly. You don't get your degree and then as soon as you walk across that stage, people are going to be like,
hey, I want to hire you. Hey, come on, come to my company.
They're not going to be like that. You're going to have to obviously apply for jobs, but you may get rejected. I got rejected many a time, and you may have to work a job that's technically not in your field. A lot of people have to do it, and I know, and this kind of goes back to the first point, you will see people that you graduated with, they have a job in their field right out of college. But again, it goes back to the point that everyone has their journey. You just have to stay positive, keep looking for jobs, and eventually the one that you're meant to be in will come.
Stay positive.
So that's all of the advice that I'm going to give today. But I really hope that this video helped students either going into college, if they're currently in college, or if they graduated from college. I really hope that it makes them feel like there's more people like them out there, because not every college student lives on campus, not every college student has an apartment their first year, and not every college student gets a job immediately out of college. So I really hope students relate to this video. I hope that they can be like, oh, that's me. I don't live on campus. I live with my parents. Or, oh, I didn't get a job immediately out of college. I can totally relate to that. I really hope that people can relate to this video, because I had never seen a video that really talked about, oh, I don't live on campus. I live with my parents. I didn't get a job right after college. You just don't really see a lot of videos like that. So I really hope that this video got across the message that yes, you are a valid college student. You're in the same classes. You're paying the same tuition unless you got a scholarship. So I just want people to feel like there's other people like them out there. So this is the end of the video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions involving college, if you have any requests for videos, anything of that nature, I would love to read those comments. So just leave them in the comments below. But yeah, that's about it. And I'm gonna go and get some food. Quirky and relatable. That's my degree. That's what I actually got my college education in. No, I'm just kidding. Bye!